African masquerades are far more than vibrant, colorful displays of dance and costume. They are powerful spiritual rituals that connect the living to the dead. In many African cultures, masquerades are believed to serve as the bridge between the physical world and the realm of the ancestors. By embodying spirits through masks, dancers invoke divine beings, channeling their power, wisdom, and protection. These ancient rites are not just ceremonial performances, they are crucial moments of interaction with the unseen world, offering a space where the living can communicate with those who have passed. The act of masking in African cultures transforms the dancer into a divine entity, often believed to be the embodiment of an ancestor, deity, or even a powerful spirit. The mask is more than a mere covering. It is the vessel through which the spirit enters the physical world. The wearer becomes possessed by the spirit represented by the mask, adopting its characteristics, power, and wisdom. In many rituals, these masqueraders are regarded with awe, as they are seen not just as performers, but as sacred beings temporarily inhabited by a force beyond their mortal selves. Masquerades are deeply rooted in African history and belief systems, with their origins tied to ancestral worship, divine communication, and the desire to invoke protection or blessings. In societies such as the Yoruba, Igbo, and Edo, these rituals are not only integral to their spiritual lives, but are also crucial in maintaining harmony between the living and the spirits. Through these performances, ancestors are honored, their guidance sought, and their blessings invoked to ensure the well-being of the community. At the core of these rituals lies the belief that death is not an end, but a transformation, and the spirits of the deceased continue to have a powerful influence over the living. In this sense, masquerades are not just about honoring the dead, but about continuing a relationship with them, one that can transcend time and space. In some cultures, masquerades are even used to consult the spirits on important matters, such as conflict resolution, harvests, or illness, showing their active role in daily life. In this opening section, we are introduced to the dual nature of African masquerades, not only as artistic expressions, but as potent spiritual vehicles that connect the living with the ancestors. As we move deeper into the script, we will explore the sacred masks themselves, the cultural contexts, and the profound role they play in maintaining spiritual equilibrium within African societies. To the untrained eye, an African mask may seem like an artistic object, but to the initiated, it is a living spiritual conduit. Each mask carries the soul of the entity it represents, whether ancestor, deity, forest spirit, or ancestral warrior. The shape, patterns, materials, and colors are not chosen at random. They are coded language, sacred geometry, and spiritual technology. In the hands of the right person, these masks awaken power. Power to summon spirits, ward off evil, and commune with the dead. The materials used in creating a mask are selected with extreme reverence. Some are carved from sacred trees believed to host ancestral spirits or forest deities. Others are adorned with cowrie shells symbolizing wealth, animal horns representing strength, or feathers invoking the spirits of the skies. In certain regions, masks are bathed in herbs, blood, or sacred water before use, initiating them into spiritual service. It is believed that without proper rituals, the mask remains dormant. Only through consecration does it become a vessel for the spirit it is meant to carry. Colors and symbols etched into the masks serve specific spiritual purposes. Red may denote ancestral wrath or protection. White could symbolize purity, peace, or the presence of ancestral guidance. Zigzag patterns might mirror the path of lightning spirits, while spiral motifs echo the eternal cycles of life and death. Among the Dogon of Mali, the Kanaga mask mimics the universe's structure, connecting the heavens to the earth through performance. These are not just aesthetics. They are cosmological maps that guide the masquerader's transformation and the audience's spiritual understanding. What's even more compelling is that some masks are considered so spiritually potent that they must never be seen by uninitiated members of society, especially women or children. In the Egungun traditions of the Yoruba, for instance, the masked figures are veiled in layers to hide the presence of the human underneath. To see beneath the veil is to risk spiritual retribution, blindness, madness, or even death. These taboos aren't superstition. They are protective rituals, safeguarding the line between sacred and profane, spirit and man. The mask, in essence, is a living being. Once worn, the wearer becomes spiritually invisible and is no longer themselves. They become the ancestor, the god, the enforcer, the healer. It is this divine transfiguration that grants African masquerades their otherworldly aura and reverence. In the next section, we'll dive into how these masks play an active role in ancestor worship, how they bring the dead back to life in ritual, counsel the living, and maintain the sacred balance between worlds. In African spirituality, ancestors are not considered distant, unreachable entities. They are active participants in the daily lives of their descendants. They are believed to have a profound influence on the welfare of the living, guiding them, protecting them, and even punishing them when necessary. Ancestor worship is a central pillar in many African traditions, and masquerades serve as the most powerful method through which the living can honor and communicate with their forebears. The masquerade ritual provides a sacred space where the boundary between the living and the dead is blurred. In these rites, the masked performer becomes an intermediary, embodying the spirit of a revered ancestor or divine force. As the wearer dances, chants, and moves in trance-like states, they are believed to channel the essence of the departed. It is through the physical manifestation of the mask that the ancestor's presence is felt in the community. This act is not merely symbolic, it is seen as an actual communion with the dead. One of the most significant functions of masquerades in ancestor worship is the act of remembrance. By donning the mask and performing the rituals, the community acknowledges the wisdom, sacrifices, and contributions of their ancestors. This is a moment of mutual recognition. The living show gratitude for the guidance they continue to receive from their ancestors, while the deceased affirm their ongoing role in the spiritual upkeep of their family or village. It is believed that the ancestors live on through the spiritual energy they bestow upon the living, which is channeled through the masquerades. Beyond just honoring the ancestors, masquerades also serve as a means of consulting them. In times of crisis, whether it be famine, disease, war, or personal conflict, the community may turn to the masqueraders for guidance. The masks, once activated, are thought to bring the wisdom of the deceased to bear on contemporary problems. In some cases, the masquerader is believed to receive direct visions, messages, or prophecies from the spirit world, which can then be shared with the community. This direct communication strengthens the bond between the living and the ancestors, ensuring that ancestral wisdom continues to guide future generations. The reverence for ancestors in African spiritual practices is not just a private, personal matter. It is a community event, often marked by large celebrations or ceremonies. In these gatherings, the entire village may come together to witness the masquerade and participate in the ritual. This collective experience reinforces communal ties and reaffirms the belief that ancestors remain deeply invested in the well-being of their descendants. As such, masquerades are not merely performances, but sacred events that bring the entire community together in shared spiritual experience. In the next section, we will explore the role of masquerades in spiritual healing and protection, illustrating how these rituals not only honor the dead, but also serve as tools of divine intervention for the living. Beyond their role in ancestor worship, African masquerades also play a crucial part in spiritual healing and protection. In many African cultures, the belief in the supernatural forces that influence health, fortune, and community harmony is deeply entrenched. It is within this spiritual framework that masquerades are called upon to serve as powerful agents of healing, protection, and divine intervention. Through the medium of the mask, spiritual forces are invoked to restore balance and order to individuals and communities alike. Masquerades are often used to ward off malevolent spirits, diseases, or misfortune. In many African traditions, illness is not simply a physical ailment, but is also thought to be caused by spiritual or ancestral disharmony. When sickness strikes a community, the masqueraders, believed to be possessed by the spirits of ancestors or healing deities, enter the scene. Their dances, songs, and rituals are thought to expel harmful spirits and restore spiritual balance. For instance, among the Igbo people, the Munwu masquerades are frequently invoked to heal the sick, banish evil spirits, and ensure the general well-being of the community. These performances are seen as acts of divine intervention, and their success is believed to hinge on the power and sanctity of the spirits being channeled. In some cultures, masquerades are also employed as protectors against external threats. During times of war or societal unrest, masked figures are seen as powerful protectors, capable of shielding the village from harm. The symbolic force embodied in the mask is thought to create a spiritual barrier, keeping invaders, plagues, and other misfortunes at bay. The belief is that, in this state, the masked individuals are more than mere humans. They are vessels of divine power with the strength to fight off evil forces on behalf of the community. Masquerades also serve as spiritual guides. In African belief systems, ancestral spirits are seen as the ultimate source of wisdom, offering counsel on personal matters, communal decisions, or even matters of love and conflict. When individuals or communities are in doubt or facing difficult decisions, masqueraders are often called upon to seek the guidance of the ancestors. Through the performance of their sacred dances and invocations, masqueraders enter a state of spiritual communion, seeking answers to questions that the living cannot easily resolve. The wisdom imparted through these rituals can provide clarity, resolve disputes, and bring peace to a troubled community. The transformative power of masquerades extends beyond their healing abilities. They also represent hope and renewal. In times of collective suffering, whether from famine, drought, or war, masquerades offer a spiritual promise of rebirth and restoration. Their vibrant dances and colorful costumes symbolize the potential for growth, regeneration, and the restoration of order. By engaging in these powerful rituals, communities reaffirm their connection to the divine and reaffirm their belief that spiritual forces are always at work, providing guidance, protection, and hope for the future. In the final section, we will examine how African masquerades have evolved in modern times, maintaining their spiritual significance while adapting to the changing cultural and social landscapes of contemporary African societies. While African masquerades are deeply rooted in ancient traditions, their spiritual power and cultural significance continue to thrive in the modern world. As societies evolve and modernize, these sacred rituals have adapted to new contexts, yet they remain integral to African cultural identity. The enduring presence of masquerades in contemporary Africa speaks to their timeless relevance and the deep spiritual connection they offer, bridging the ancient and the modern. In today's Africa, masquerades are still central to many communal celebrations, such as weddings, funerals, harvest festivals, and other rites of passage. These ceremonies not only honor ancestors, but also serve as moments of spiritual renewal and cultural expression. The vibrancy of the masquerades, with their stunning masks and dynamic performances, continues to captivate audiences, drawing younger generations into these sacred practices. In some places, masquerades are even gaining new significance, as they become symbols of resistance and social commentary, reflecting contemporary issues such as political corruption, environmental destruction, and the fight for social justice. Despite the challenges of globalization and the influence of Western culture, masquerades remain a vital part of African spiritual life. They offer an essential link to ancestral traditions that provide a sense of continuity and cultural identity. In urban centers across the continent, masquerades are still performed during important cultural festivals and are increasingly being showcased in global contexts such as art galleries, museums, and international cultural festivals. These performances not only preserve the spiritual and artistic heritage of Africa, but also introduce global audiences to the richness and depth of African spirituality. Furthermore, the spiritual power of masquerades extends beyond Africa's borders. In the African diaspora, particularly in the Americas and the Caribbean, the traditions of African masquerades have been preserved and reinterpreted through new forms, such as carnival and other cultural festivals. These celebrations, which combine African, European, and indigenous influences, continue to honor African ancestors and gods, offering a modern-day reflection of the spiritual connection that masquerades embody. This transatlantic exchange of cultural practices has resulted in a global appreciation for the power of masquerades as a medium of cultural preservation, spiritual expression, and social activism. As African societies continue to modernize, masquerades provide a powerful reminder of the importance of spirituality and tradition in the face of rapid change. They offer a unique space where the past and present converge, allowing communities to reaffirm their ancestral ties while navigating the complexities of modern life. The spiritual potency of African masquerades remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago, embodying the timeless connection between the living, the dead, and the divine. Through these powerful rituals, African masquerades continue to fulfill their role as a living bridge between worlds, preserving ancestral wisdom, offering guidance, and fostering a profound sense of unity and belonging. As long as they continue to be practiced, the living and the dead will remain connected, and the spiritual power of African masquerades will endure, shaping both present and future generations. The spiritual power of African masquerades transcends the realms of the sacred, impacting every facet of life, from cultural to social and even political landscapes. As vehicles for ancestral guidance, healing, and protection, masquerades have long been a force for unity, resilience, and cultural preservation in African communities. These rituals bring together individuals, creating a sense of belonging and shared identity while honoring the deep legacies of the past. In the modern world, masquerades are not only a celebration of heritage, but also a tool for social commentary and activism, shedding light on critical issues like political corruption and environmental justice. Their enduring relevance in African societies and the global diaspora speaks to their powerful role in shaping the future, while staying deeply rooted in the spiritual and humanitarian values of the past. As we continue to face global challenges, the spiritual lessons embedded in these masquerades can serve as a guide for creating more connected, compassionate, and resilient communities. If you found this exploration of African masquerades captivating, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to spread the hidden history of Africa. And be sure to subscribe for more in-depth looks at the rich cultural legacies that continue to shape our world today.